Republic of Avalon Radio.
Wow, wow, wow.
Hello, this is Jesse Markeen all the way from Houston, Texas, USA. And we are here with my friends. I'm just going to let my friends introduce themselves. Yes, and here we go.
Curra!
Hello, everyone from Newfoundland, Andrew.
He sounds like he's not from here, but he's really from here, but he's really not.
Really not.
Borat Sagdi of Kazakhstan! Wow, wow. Big shout out to my sister, number one prostitute, Kazakhstan.
Sono lieto di poter rievocare in poche parole le esperienze delle prime trasmissioni radiotelegrafiche a grandi distanze da me felicemente eseguite attraverso l'Oceano Atlantico il 12 dicembre 1901.
Holy snapping bra straps. It's a podcast.
Republic of Avalon Radio. It's 0 hours Avalon Standard Time.
Hey, I'm listening to Republic of Avalon Radio. My name is Ursula. I'm Australian but living in London and totally loving Republic of Avalon Radio.
Hey, I'm Johnny Graham. I'm from Eccleford, Southern Shore, and you're listening to the Republic of Avalon Radio.
Hi, this is Calvin, calling the center of the Republic, right here from hot and sweaty central Canada, and you're listening to The Roar, Republic of Avalon Radio. Woo!
Hey, this is Hope Povenmire from the Audio Mirror Podcast, and you're listening to Republic of Avalon Radio. You're with The Roar.
Republic of Avalon Radio.
Either you're with us or you are with the terrorists.
You're with the Roar!
Republic of Avalon Radio. You're with The Roar. I'm Jim Fidler, and this is episode 53 of The Roar. Roaring on into the future. And very glad to be doing so. Yes, here we are. It is July 1st. Number 1, July. Which in Canada, which of course Newfoundland is a part, it is Canada Day. I guess the general idea is somewhat like July 4th in the United States. Although I don't quite know that it's exactly the same thing, because as far as I know, from everything that I can glean from my research, it would seem that the head of state of Canada is whoever's sitting on the throne of Great Britain. And that person, whoever it is, it happens to be Queen Elizabeth II at the moment, has the final say on everything in Canada, even the election of, say, the Prime Minister of Canada has to be approved by this person sitting on the throne, and if for whatever reason they decide no, then they have the full right to disapprove of this person who was, I guess, democratically elected. And of course people say, yeah, but they'd never do that and whatever. I just find it interesting that that's the case, because why would you write something on a piece of paper? Okay, what is the law of the land? What is against the law? I suppose murder is against the law, and stealing, and all kinds of things. There's such a huge stack of all sorts of laws upon laws upon laws, and seemingly more and more and more these days as we move toward this wonderful one world, whatever we're moving toward, and things looking more and more like a police state every time you look around. But you would think the supreme law of the land, out of that whole big stack of law, there should be, or not should be, there is kind of the main one page right on the top that supersedes everything. That's the most important law of the land, and that would be the law that defines a country in terms of what they are. Are they, a social democratic republic? Are they a constitutional republic? Are they a department of France? Whatever. And as far as I know, Canada is, I don't know if it's exactly defined as a dominion of Great Britain or, but I do know that it's pretty hard to conceive of a place being considered independent if its head of state is the leader of a foreign country, or I guess not all that foreign, actually. So the United States, for example, the word gets beaten around quite a bit. Democracy. The United States is not a democracy. It's not set up that way on paper. It's not that way. It doesn't declare itself internationally to be such a thing. The United States is actually a constitutional republic. And I think from what I gather, the main difference being you couldn't have, say, 51% of the people, the idea is supposed to be anyway, you couldn't have 51% of the people decide to just execute the other 49. So that you have these branches of government that are supposed to keep each other in check, the checks and balances as they are referred to. And the United States, the head of state of the United States is an American, at least for now. I think Arnold Schwarzenegger is wanting to get that changed so that he can be the Uber Führer of America, I think. Yes. But I do know that Canada does not have... there is no way possible for a Canadian to become the head of state of Canada. And Barbados, I have to check on the status of that. I'm not quite sure where it stands right now, but people have been quite excited in Barbados for the last little while, moving toward complete independence, actually having their very own head of state, who would be, I guess, a native-born Barbadian, which I think is absolutely wonderful. And, big ups to all the people in Barbados. And if that has not quite happened yet, I'll be absolutely looking forward to tuning into Voice of Barbados and hearing all that stuff take place. To my knowledge, it hasn't happened yet, officially. But yes, so here we have it. Voice of Barbados. Do a Google search for that. That's a great radio station I listen to quite often. But anyway, as I was saying, July 1st in Canada is Canada Day. And whether Canada is an independent republic or not, or whatever, certainly enough people think, because there's a red and white Canadian flag. I don't even think that's the highest flag in the land either. I think the Union Jack actually out-qualifies the maple leaf, which is the commonly held Canadian flag. So I don't know if I'm stirring up any controversy here, but I guess if you just go Google it, Canada. What would you have to Google to figure that out, I wonder? That would be a tough one, perhaps. But if you just look around, I have looked around considerably, because Newfoundland in 1949 became part of Canada. So it's interesting to know what one has become a part. What we've become a part of. Have we become a part of a constitutional republic, or have we become a part of a dominion of Great Britain, or what? And from all that I can conclude from my research, we have not become a part of a fully independent constitutional republic. It doesn't seem. So you all can do your own research on that. But the thing is, anyway, this is Canada Day, July 1st. So everybody's out celebrating, woohoo, and having fireworks and barbecues and all these kinds of things. In Newfoundland, July 1st has an entirely different meaning, although it seems that more and more people are just leaning toward the barbecues and the Canadian celebration, more so than the more long-established tradition in Newfoundland. July 1st has always been our Memorial Day. It's the date when the Newfoundland Regiment was sent up over the hill in Beaumont-Hamel in France by a particular General Haig, who I think was heard to say something along the lines of, quote, "Let's not waste any good British blood. Send in the Newfoundlanders," unquote. It was a complete exercise in using up enemy ammunition. It was a lost cause, complete lost cause. And the Newfoundlanders were absolutely massacred. And it really, really, really affected the future of Newfoundland. It was Newfoundland's brightest and best who volunteered, the first colony in the British Empire, to round up a bunch of lads to go and fight for freedom in the war, in the quote, war to end all wars, unquote. And that has unfortunately faded. There's a ceremony on July 1st that people go to, and we acknowledge that. And then we just carry on with all the hoo-has of Canada Day. Now, I don't know, I may be stirring up more controversy here. Many of you, it wouldn't really much matter, I suppose, but some people who find themselves being very, I guess, proud Canadians might just not like what I'm saying. But the fact remains, we grew up, when I grew up, we called it the July Drive, or the July Drive, actually. We didn't say July, the July Drive. I don't know why people pronounced it that way. But the July 1st was Memorial Day, celebrating or acknowledging the sacrifice made at Beaumont-Hamel. Very proud bunch of Newfoundlanders were sent into the jaws of the enemy to be massacred knowingly. And at least myself and Lillian can't forget that. So July 1st to us is first and foremost Memorial Day. So we don't really do anything special, but one thing we do not do is just kind of go out and celebrate and have fireworks and drink beer and dance in the street or whatever. Because for us anyway, as our free choice, I guess you would say, it's not respectful. And I'm sure there are certain things. I'll say this for sure. One way or the other, it's highly, highly unfortunate, very unfortunate that our most solemn day coincides with Canada's most celebratory day. That's very, very unfortunate. Anybody from the most dyed-in-the-wool, pink, white, and green which is the Republican flag of Newfoundland. Anyone from that person to the biggest waver of the maple leaf could certainly agree on that. It's very, very unfortunate that July 1st has that dual meaning in Newfoundland. But here it is. It is July 1st, and we hope everybody is doing well. We're chugging along here. I'm working still on my record, and I'm to the point now where I'm up to about 10 songs kind of in the works. So I was figuring that this CD will probably end up having about a dozen songs on it, something like that. So I'm getting close, folks. It's getting close. And none of these songs are really finished, but the fact that I've got kind of 10 blooming at this point is, I think, enough to indicate that there is progress being made, and I should feel encouraged by that, and I do. It's really coming along great. So I don't really have a release date in mind or anything like that. I just possibly may toy around with it, and I was contemplating possibly doing a double CD with some dub mixes and things like that. I may do that. I'm not sure. I may wait and put it out next spring. I may put it out sometime before the fall. I guess I'm just going to have to see what happens, and leave it up to the great cosmic force, who knows much better about all these things than people like myself trying to jam square pegs in round holes sometimes. Alrighty, want to send a great big shout out, big bunch of big ups to Blankenberg School. They have a podcast, and it's up and running. The feed, if you want to check it out, and I think the feed may be changing. They're just getting this thing up and running here now and working out all the kinks. When you're setting up a podcast, there's a lot of things to do, and you need an RSS feed and all these things, and it needs to be hosted somewhere. But they are on Libsyn, so if you want to check that out, please do check it out. It's at standupradio.libsyn, which is libsyn.com/RSS. So if you put that into your Juice or iTunes or whatever you're using, http://standupradio.libsyn.com/RSS. You will be able to subscribe to Stand Up Radio, and here, at least right now, there's one episode there. I think there's a second one in the can that's about to go up very soon. And I lent a bit of a hand to help them get the thing going, and very, very glad to have done so. So a great big huge congratulations and big ups to the class and to their teacher, Anne, who you guys have heard on here before. Alrighty, so let's push ahead with this episode 53 of Republic of Avalon Radio. I'm going to be talking a little bit about something that's kind of near and dear to me, an old love of mine. It's not radio, it's not music. You'll have to wait and see. Some of you may find that interesting. We're also going to take you on a little stroll into beautiful, historic downtown St. John's, as we do from time to time. And I must say, the feedback that we get out of all the stuff we do, a good number of you seem to enjoy coming on those little strolls with us. So I don't think they're ever going to go away. We'll always grab whatever portable recording device we have and just go out and record on walkabout kind of thing for you guys. And for that matter, speaking of which, your feedback, we've got some submissions that you'll be hearing from this show forward. There's a certain person out there who sent us in an absolutely great submission, And that will be coming up next week, so fret not if you don't hear it this week. And anything from you, we'd love to hear from you. Go over to our website, republicofavalonradio.com, and get in touch with us. Send us in your shout-outs, whatever, MP3 wave, a WAV file would be our preference, so if you can get those wave files into us, that would be great. We'd just like to know who you are, where you're from, what you're into, what you're up to, that kind of thing, and just kind of share that little capsule of yourself with us and your fellow Roar listeners. So we keep them coming. We've got a few good ones, and the more the merrier. The more of you we hear from, the better it is for us. So let's press on. Let's start things out this week with a bit of music. We will go to an absolute giant in the calypso world from Trinidad. His career spans decades and decades and decades. I think he started out in the 30s, somewhere around 1934, I do believe. And this one goes out to all of you. Special dedication. Here is Roaring Lion, very appropriate for the Roar. And this little song called The Last Watch. Tick, tick, tick.
What a confusion, a man lost his watch in the railway station. What a confusion, a man lost his watch in the railway station. And a girl named Imelda, who suspected to be the burglar. She had no purse, no pockets in her clothes. Where she had the watch hidden, goodness knows. But they hearing tick, tick, tick. Everybody looking tick, tick, tick. See them out there searching tick, tick, tick. That's all they hearing, but they couldn't find out where that watch was hiding. Tick, tick, tick. Everybody looking tick, tick, see them out there searching tick, tick, tick. That's all they hearing. Under suspicion, they took her down to the police station and sent for the matron to examine every piece of clothes she had on. Every piece was examined with care. They even made her come out her long hair. They searched and couldn't search no more, but they watched no ticking harder than before for the hearing. Tick, tick, tick. Everybody looking tick, tick, tick. See them out there searching tick, tick, tick. That's all they hearing, but they couldn't find out where that watch was hiding. Tick, tick, tick. Everybody looking tick, tick. See them out there searching tick, tick, tick. That's all they hearing. The matron hit on an idea. She could find the watch around somewhere. She said she had an incentive. She would find the watch to give one privilege to divest Melda entirely and search her as if she's crazy. To search, police decide, so they matron turn Melda's inside outside and they hearing tick, tick, tick. Everybody looking tick, tick, tick. See them out there searching tick, tick, tick. That's all they hearing and couldn't find out where that watch was hiding. Tick, tick, tick. Everybody looking tick, tick. See them out there searching tick, tick, tick. That's all they hearing. Confusion now in the station. The matron she's searching by inspiration. The watch ticking louder and louder. The matron moving up closer. The matron convinced there's no doubt. Push her hand up inside Melda mouth. You know, the idea came true. But when she found the watch, it was 10 to 2, still ticking. Tick, tick, tick. Everybody looking tick, tick, tick. See them out there searching tick, tick, tick. That's all they hearing, but couldn't find out where that watch was hiding. Tick, tick, tick. Everybody looking tick, tick, tick. See them out there searching tick, tick, tick. That's all they hearing and couldn't find out where that watch was hiding. This is the lion. Everybody looking tick, tick, tick. See them out there searching tick, tick, tick. That's all they hearing and couldn't find out where that watch was hiding. Tick, tick, tick. Everybody looking tick, tick, tick. See them out there searching tick, tick, tick. That's all they hearing and couldn't find out where that watch was hiding. Tick, tick, tick. Everybody looking tick, tick, tick. See them out there searching tick, tick, tick. That's all they hearing and couldn't find out where that watch was hiding. Tick, tick, tick. Everybody looking tick, tick, tick. See them out there searching tick, tick, tick. That's all they hearing and couldn't find out where that watch was hiding. Tick, tick, tick. Everybody looking.
We are the Kids Bros. Stand Up Radio. Stand tall and stand for something. Republic of Avalon Radio. You're with the roar, yeah.
Hi, this is Eddie Grant, and you're listening to the Republic of Avalon Radio. Take your time.
Give me hope, Joanna, give me hope, Joanna, give me hope, Joanna, for the morning come. Give me hope, Joanna, give me hope, Joanna, hope before the morning come. Republic of Avalon Radio.
Radio for lazy people who don't want to do nothing.
You're with the roar.
Yes, indeed. Thanks to that jingle, we now know that we're listening to Republic of Avalon Radio. If not for that, I guess we wouldn't know what we'd be listening to. So, good thing we insert those jingles every now and again. It's like a little splash of cold water on the face, just so that we know where we are. Yes, well, this little segment that I'm doing here now is kind of inconsequential, perhaps, to most. But I would say you hear something in the background, and you might be wondering, what the heck is that? What is that racket in the background? Well, aside from our ever-vocal refrigerator, one of the big two-door types with the freezer on the left and the refrigerator on the right, we have in the background the very, very beginnings, before the first pitch, of a ball game between the Pittsburgh Pirates and the Florida Marlins. And how am I listening to it? Well, that's probably not the question you first came to, but that is the point that I want to get to. Don't confuse this with an advert. I just think this is brilliant. So, for any of you out there who may be a baseball fan, or maybe used to and kind of lost track of it, and for whatever reason, you don't have the wherewithal, television-wise, or cable, or satellite, or this, that, or whatever. The fact that you're listening to this now, quite likely, not necessarily, means, or at least it implies, that you have some sort of internet connectivity. You're connected you're wired into the series of tubes called the internet. And so you could do this as well. I went to... Well, let me back up a little. I, as a youth, was a really big fan of the Montreal Expos. And in fact, I have a signed baseball by all-star catcher Jeff Reed. And I have a shirt, actually, not just some sort of, merchandise bought, for sale to the public. I have an actual Tim Raines shirt, number 30. The real McCoy, the real deal, right from the dressing room. So, how I got it, I won't elaborate upon. But I have it nonetheless. And for you that aren't in the know in regards to this, the Expos are no more. They moved and became the Washington Nationals. Now, for myriad reasons, I can't go there. I can't do that. It just didn't feel right, as much as I would have liked to, and I even tried subscribing to there was a Nationals podcast. I gave that a listen just to see if it would tweak my interest, and no, the flavor is entirely different. It's just not the same thing. Plus, a lot of the players aren't there, and all the players I used to follow aren't there anymore. And so for lots and lots of reasons, it just sort of ain't the same. It just ain't the same hot dog, I guess. So for years now, for a long, long time, I've been out of the league, or the league, yeah, the leagues, I would say. I always followed the National League. And I must say, I something way back somewhere, something way deep down, missed baseball. Somewhere I was really... all right. Freddie's... What? I'm missing the game here. I'm gonna keep this short. So for you who aren't that interested in baseball, this is going to be mercifully short. So yeah, Montreal Expos National League, no designated hitter stuff, and so on. That's my story with baseball, which kind of made it easy to know who to cheer for in the All-Star game and all that stuff as well. Anyway, to make a long story short, I went to MLB.com. MLB as in Major League Ball or Major League Baseball. And I got a subscription for my birthday. Thanks, Nan. And it's good for the whole season, including the playoffs and a whole bunch of other nice stuff, some archived stuff. And it's, I guess, like $14.95 US for the whole season. And you can listen to any game by any team, anytime you want. Batista, he would be my favorite player on the Pirates right now. I think I like that guy. And apparently he's on second base. So there we have it. Yeah, so it's $14.95 for the whole season, a whole bunch of good stuff, and what to do in the way of a team, that was a problem. So I initially started listening to Pirates games, simply because, well, where I got that signed baseball by Jeff Reed, the catcher. Did I say pitcher earlier? Hopefully I said catcher. Anyway, Jeff Reed, the all-star catcher who played with the Expos, I got that ball signed at Three Rivers Stadium, where I went and saw... Hang on. What's happening? Yeah, LaRoche. I'm not necessarily all that impressed with him. Yes. So that's where I got that signed baseball. Was a game between the Expos and the Pirates. And that was the only Major League Ball game that I'd ever seen. I played all kinds of ball and saw all kinds of local, softball here and things like that. And I always just loved all the ins and outs of the game. That was the only game that I'd ever seen, pro ball, at Three Rivers Stadium at the time. This was in 1987. And plus, that's like the hometown team. That's my dad's team and my brother's team, and so on and so forth. If I went to visit my family in Pennsylvania and we went to a ball game, it would be a Pittsburgh Pirates game. So I figured I'd give the Bucks a go, and they've been playing absolutely pathetically. I've always been quite interested in the Yankees as well, kind of like being the equivalent, I would say, somewhat, or a counterpart or whatever, of my my hockey team, the Habs, the Montreal Canadiens. I guess the Canadians are like the Yankees of hockey, or the Yankees are like the Habs of baseball, whichever way. But a few things kind of put me off of that, and the American League side of things as well. So I followed the Bucks, the Pittsburgh Pirates, for quite a while, and like I say, they've been playing pathetically. But what the heck? I've been enjoying it. I've really been enjoying listening to the games. They've been keeping me out of trouble. And I've recently, just because they were playing so pathetically, and I've been even hearing people calling in, lifetime Pirates fans, just fed up with the whole organization and everything, the management and everything. So I said, okay, it's not just me. I was being very patient. So I've been checking out some Yankees games, and of course, since I started listening to the Yankees games, of course, they've been losing every game and playing pathetically as well. So I think it's a curse. I think I have this curse that I carry with me from team to team. So it just occurs to me now that I subscribe to MLB.com, not Pirates.com or Yankees.com, I can listen to both. In fact, I could listen to any other team if I wanted to. So at least for the moment, I think I'm going to say that I am an Expos fan, and oi oi oi. Okay, the Pirates are out, and that's normal for the Pirates. The Yankees have been doing the same thing, getting when they do get hits and get on base, they load the bases and so on, and they might get one run out of it if they're lucky, and the other team is scoring runs on walks and stealing bases and little bloop flies and things like that. Anyway, in conclusion, I would say I am an Expos fan who, for the moment, is following the Pittsburgh Pirates in the National League and the New York Yankees in the American League. And hey, what's wrong with that? That's if I ended up coming out of this with a National League team and an American League team, and softened my ways and actually got into some American League play, that wouldn't be such a bad thing. So that's not exactly anything to do with anything in particular, just something that I thought I would like to share with you guys. So for you who may be into baseball, or who were previously into baseball, or who thinks for a very, very reasonable $14.95 for the whole year, for the whole season, including all the playoffs and everything, you might just like something to do. To drag your laptop outside on a nice summer evening and crank it up and listen while you throw a few dogs or a few ribs on the barbecue and crack open a cold beverage for yourself and all that kind of stuff. I think it's a good way to go. And by the way, did I mention you can listen to the games whenever you like? So if game time is at 7:30 or something like that, of course you can tune in at 7:30 and listen to the game. If you tune in at 8:30, you've missed an hour of the game. But anytime after the game is over, and they seem to be pretty quick about it, you can tune in. So you could listen to the game at 10 o'clock at night if that was better for your schedule, or you could put the game on at midnight and it'll just start right at the beginning, and it's brilliant. So there you have it, folks. Again, a big thanks to my grandmother for making this purchase for me for my birthday this year. And let's carry on with the next little segment, which will be myself and Lillian taking a little stroll downtown to go out and have a little meal together on our 11th wedding anniversary.
This is Larry Scootcon from the Blind Cool Tech Podcast, and you're listening to The Roar, Republic of Avalon Radio.
Republic of Avalon Radio. You're with the Roar!
All right, well, here we are, just leaving behind us the Subgenius, Church of the Subgenius Hour of Slack, episode 1106. And ahead of us, well, what lies ahead?
Indeed, what does lie ahead?
It's, what lies ahead?
It's a beautiful evening.
It's very nice. She was suggesting that I take a jacket. I think she's mad.
Actually, yeah, I thought it was chilly.
She's got like a winter sweater on.
The sweater came from Mexico.
That's a very Subgenius sweater.
It is.
And how did you get this sweater from Mexico?
My aunt was down there for the winter, and she brought it back for my mom. And my mom can't wear it because she finds it's itchy. So
I find it itchy even just like thinking about it, having you kind of anywhere near me with that on.
Well, it is kind of itchy, actually. But it's pretty. It's pink.
I see.
It's got little
thingies around the neck and the arms.
Did you learn that term in sewing school?
Thingies?
Yes.
Little loops. It's kind of got that.
So they're playing ball. Are they playing ball?
They are playing ball.
Hey, they're playing ball in the park.
Big men playing ball.
Big men playing ball in the park.
Actually, what are they doing? They're not playing ball.
It's a conspiracy.
They're running and training, I think.
Running and training.
Something like that. There's no
One
balls
guy's
to be
running
seen.
around, and the fella's going choo choo.
They're running around, and
So-
some of them have their shirts off.
So we won't be cutting through the field. See, there should be a law against that.
Yeah.
Look at that guy over there, especially that one. The one who's not doing much running or chewing. He shouldn't be out in public without a shirt.
He should not.
No. He has breastises.
Yeah, he does.
Yes. Hairy breastises.
No.
No?
No.
Just breastises.
Yes.
Men breastises.
Men breastises.
Okay. Well, the whole thing, or the two half things, we'll tell you about the whole thing, but only in little bits and pieces. And in fact, we'll actually get to very little of it in this episode. So in other words, we'll stretch it out for a period of years. That way, we'll always have something to say. And, each entry in this life journal of audio that we call the Subgenius Hour of Roar.
Since when did our name change?
Oh, sorry. I'm stuck in the moment.
Okay.
I have Bob in my heart.
This is a good thing, I guess.
Yeah. So, we will parcel it out to you over an extended period of time. And I'm just noticing walking down this sidewalk that our head was just touching leaves on the trees there, and we've been having a nasty sort of infestation over the last few years of these things. What are they called? Span worms?
Yes. Yes, and they're coming back.
I wish they'd reached the end of their span.
Me too. I was hoping this year we wouldn't have any, but it doesn't look like it. It looks like they're coming back.
But there'll probably be far less of them, and they might not be around as long.
Yeah, we hope.
We hope.
Because they are very
Which reminds
dreadful.
me of Bob again.
Very dreadful creatures.
Yes.
Ugly.
Ugly.
And,
Ugly.
And they eat all the leaves. Like,
Ugly wormlings.
Just make the place look.
What the heck are you hanging off of you? Every step I take, I'm kicking something way down there by the ground.
Oh, it's my skirt.
It's your skirt. Well, good thing you grew just as much as you did, because otherwise you'd be like a skirt walking around with a head sticking out of it.
Okay.
Because the skirt's just about even with the ground.
It is kind
You're
of.
really showing off them ankles tonight, aren't you?
Yeah.
I don't think anyone would even catch a glimpse of ankle with that skirt. So, yeah. So my concern was those leaves back there. If we've got our little wormy friends kicking around, then that might not be so good, because one could easily end up with one of these yucky, hideous creatures on one's head.
Very easily.
In fact, am I okay?
Yeah, I think you're fine.
Okay.
Can't really see.
I would hate to have one of these things. I hear they suck the karma out of you, I hear. So we are just now approaching the main thoroughfare.
Water Street.
We're crossing over another street, which will remain nameless. We'll tell them names of streets and stuff so that they can track us.
Exactly.
Gee whiz. Ouch!
What's wrong?
Your freaking skirt thing. It's not a skirt. You got like, I don't know, some
It's a
kind.
weapon.
You've got something hanging off of that. Like, what are those things that the Oriental fellers fling around and all that?
Yeah.
What's that?
I don't know what it's called, but that
Torture,
is like.
torture string, ball on string, swing thing.
I'm sorry. I don't know what to do with it.
I don't know what to do. Can you pull your? Can you hike up your skirt or
That's
something?
That's what I'm going to do, hike it up.
But it seems like it's an adjustable type thing.
It is.
You just got it in slack mode. Maybe you should leave it that way.
It's the skirt of slack.
The skirt of slack.
Okay, I've got it hiked up a bit, and I'm holding on to the
Guys, she's hiking up her skirt.
Watch those cars slow down.
Watch those cars speed up, slow down. Well, I mean, they just might get kind of de-slackified.
Well, the glare from my legs, I'm sure, would be kind of scary.
Yeah, I think my legs would probably outglare yours, though.
Yeah, but you don't have shorts on.
No, but still. I am naked underneath these pants and t-shirts and things.
Your feet are visible, and they're kind of white.
Yeah.
And you have huge toes, big toes.
Thank you. I worked long and hard to get those in the shape that they're in.
I just make fun of your toes, don't I?
Pardon?
I make fun of your toes sometimes, don't I?
I think you make fun with. You have fun. Yeah, you make fun with them.
Yes, I do.
As opposed to at them.
Yes, because I love them.
Yes. So, the whole purpose to this situation, or cause this evening, is we are going out on this beautiful evening of June the 25th, 2007, to have a dining experience in lieu of all sorts of other potential silliness. We're just going to maybe do something as radical as go have a bite to eat, go for a nightcap, and go home. But the point being, spending time together, nobody having to cook or worry about dishes or anything like that. And we get to spend money.
Yes, we love that.
Yes, we really hate money. So what we want to do is we want to appeal to you. Send us your money, and we will receive it, and hating it so much, we will spend it.
Well, that's an idea. We'll podcast the spending of the money.
Yes, we will podcast to you how we spend your money.
Yeah.
And you can just listen and cry.
In fact, if you have any suggestions on ways we could spend it, that would be most welcome too.
Well, I'm out of hard drive space. I'm trying to, edit this show, and I go to save the file, and I'm out of hard drive space because of all my crashes that I had. So I need hard drives. That's one thing I need. So all kinds of things. So send us your money.
Now.
We will gladly take your money, and we will gladly spend it. And
we're very good at that.
On such things as hard drives and fast women and
Not slow women?
No, I was never into slow women myself. I always found they just didn't get it.
Well, it'd be easier to catch, being slow and all.
Easier to catch, but easier to, I don't know. From my experience, they just don't get it. So I've always preferred the fast women myself. Little brighter on the uptake, a little quicker on the uptake.
Okay.
Yeah. You thought I was talking about something else there, didn't you?
No, not at all. I have no idea what you're talking about.
I don't understand. Some people talk about things and they make no sense to me, and everyone seems to kind of snicker and poke each other like there's some kind of a conspiracy going on. I just don't get it quite often.
Yeah. It's like the bleeps in our last show.
We didn't have bleeps in our last show. No.
Okay.
Our last show was in the future.
Oh.
You see?
All right then.
You got to keep this stuff straight.
Yeah.
You see, the past is past. The future, we don't know, and the present is a gift from Bob.
Gift from Bob. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you, Bob.
But he didn't do it deliberately. It was a mistake. He took a wrong turn on I think it was I-47.
Okay.
And disturbed the created a temporal anomaly, tore a little stitch out of the time-space continuum, and put our last show into the future.
Okay, well...
Oh, listen. Well, what the heck? They're like, what's that, like skeeter bikes?
Yeah.
What kind of
cute
bikes?
Little bikes. I think they're racing bikes. Like
Yeah?
Kawasaki's maybe.
Really? But are they kind of like cycle bike, motorcycle bikes, or are they more kind of like sort of
sporty.
heavy-duty bicycle, like scooter type things?
They're like, like motorcycles, but very sporty motorcycles.
Well, gee whiz, they didn't barely sound like they had lawnmower engines in them.
That's kind of nice, actually.
I like it.
Yeah.
It probably isn't much in the way of horsey power, I wouldn't say.
Probably not. Hello. There's a quiet one just went by, too. That was an older bike, I think.
Okay. All right, so the purpose, as I mentioned earlier, we were going to not tell you the whole thing, because if we did, then we would just have one show and there'd be nothing else. So we're going to kind of pare it out and give it to you in bits and bites. The reason for us going to partake in this meal and all on this June 25, 2007 is because 11 years ago today, the mayor of St. John's at the time was up to some mischief.
He was. You know what? I just realized it was 11 o'clock in the morning.
It was.
It was.
I realized that 11 years ago.
Yeah, but I didn't realize it today.
Because I was...
It's the 11th year.
Because I was out philosophizing the night before.
Yeah?
Uh-huh. And I remember having to get up and go for this event and feeling rather secondhand at the time.
Yeah, but you're older and wiser now.
Certainly wiser.
Not older?
Don't know about older.
Okay.
But
that's interesting. This is the 11th year, and we did get married. Oops, I let the cat out of the bag.
What?
I said we did get married.
Yes, we did. That's what we're talking about.
Yeah, but they didn't know yet.
Well, that's why we're telling them now.
Okay, well, yeah.
If we didn't tell them, who would?
11 years ago today, at the 11th hour.
Mayor
AM.
Murphy told the Fidlers to stay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so 11 years ago today, we did that crazy Marion thing.
Yeah, we did.
And Lillian was very reluctant about it at first.
I was.
But there's some amazing drugs you can get on the internet that you just kind of like put into someone's tea over a period of time, and you can get them to do just about anything.
Great. That's what happened to me.
Yes.
It was a tea.
That's what it was.
Goodness.
It was that fancy herbal tea.
I don't remember a thing, really.
So guys, watch out if your significant other or others, depending on what sort of man-made religion you subscribe to, start thrusting this herbal tea on you. Be careful, because they might be trying to convince you through other means than discussion.
You know, the weather was somewhat like this that night. Remember, we went out on the boat.
I remember, yes. It was very much like this.
Yeah.
Just about the same.
Mm-hmm.
We liked it.
A schooner outside the harbour.
Yeah, and then the Coast Guard caught up with us.
Yeah.
And after
we were headed for Ireland.
After a pitched battle outside the Narrows, we scared them off. And Yes. So it was 11 years ago to this day.
Sing it.
It was 11 years ago today. Mayor Murphy told the fiddlers to stay. I don't know, something like that. Yes. And an absolutely wonderful 11 years. I just wouldn't trade them for. I wouldn't trade them for 12 years. Of course, that would make me a year older if I traded them for 12 years. And if they were all that good, why wouldn't you trade them for 12 years? That would be an extra year.
There's no end to those bikes.
There we are.
I think that's a group. What do you think the chances of that are?
I see clubs and cliques and cults everywhere I turn.
So, yes. Yeah.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah.
So 11 years ago today, we got married.
We did, in the mayor's chambers.
In the mayor's chambers, yes.
11 o'clock in the morning.
I noticed the smell kind of funny in there.
Did you?
Yeah. Oh, okay.
I don't remember.
Never mind. So, whiz. We have all shapes of vehicles.
So, you could tell the story about how we managed to get the mayor to do that.
How we got the well, again, it was that.
Did we tell that before?
It was those drops that I got on the internet. Those herbal drops.
We were the last couple to be married by that mayor.
Yes, Mayor John Murphy. Yeah. Mayor John Murphy.
He was the mayor for a long time.
Of St. John's. He was the mayor for quite a while. And not just in one stretch either. He was there and kind of then not and then back again. But he's always been around and he's always been involved in issues municipal in St. John's.
And he performed a lot of marriages over his terms,
Mm-hmm.
his length of time as mayor.
Yep.
And we were the last couple.
We were the last, officially on record. There's a bit of trivia for you. The last couple ever married by John Murphy as mayor of St. John's would be us.
Yep, and we tracked him down, didn't we?
And can you blame him?
That's right.
Yes.
Yeah. No, he'll have no more of that.
Enough of that, he says. Yes. You know why in France they only have one egg for breakfast every morning?
Because
one egg is enough.
Yeah. And, yep. So
what are you going to eat?
I don't know yet.
Oh, I know what she's going to eat. She's going to eat
No, I'm not.
the melon ball Bahama wrap fry stir thing.
The melon balls sound great, but I don't think they have them there.
No. I know what I'm going to have.
I know what you're going to have too.
What?
Ribs.
Yes.
And wings.
Yes, and all kinds of things.
I don't know what
Ribs
else.
and
Maybe
wings
steak
and
or something.
lovely things. Absolutely. We're going to a restaurant here in St. John's that will remain unnamed, where they have a great variety of things from stir fries and I guess, good things for the health conscious, people who like to eat lettuce, those people, and the subconscious, people who don't like to eat lettuce or anything at all, and at least until they regain consciousness. And people like me, kind of full-fledged subgenius carnivores. So I go for that. They have things like steaks and ribs and chicken. You can get like kind of chicken rib combo, juicy, yummy chicken rib combo, barbecue, grilled dripping, yummy stuff. And other people sit there and look at you while they're like chewing on their lettuce and stuff, which is okay. That just means, you see, there's a principle that I don't think I've introduced yet on the show here. It's spelled morphemy. Now, it's not to be confused with anything that changes. The morph at the beginning of it has really nothing to do with change whatsoever, or, changing from one thing into another. That is not the purpose of this term. Morphemy means it's kind of a Latin spelling, so that's what throws people off. But what it actually means is when somebody has the opportunity to consume something that you favor, such as, let's say you're at the office barbecue, whatever that is. I've never been to one myself. I don't know why I thought of that example, but so you're at the office barbecue and you see that there are only 3 hot dogs on the grill, and you're pretty hungry, and you can pack away half dozen of them suckers, no problem. And you watch 2 of your friends walk toward the barbecue, and you think, oh no, this means I'm only going to get maybe 1 hot dog. But mercifully, it suddenly dawns on you that your 2 friends are, I almost said lesbians.
That must have been floating around in the air.
Why did that word come to my mind? Vegetarians, that's the word. That's the word. Yes. Okay. We'll not expand upon that. That has... Anyway. So, yes, so it suddenly dawns on you that your 2 friends are vegetarians, and you then pay homage to the principle of morphemy. It means more for... the anglicized is more for me. So that is the principle of morphemy. Great, that's more for me. That's what it is. morphemy. To spell it correctly, with all them like kind of Latin things, ph being f and things like that.
You're going to have to write a book one of these days with all these little things.
I think I'll wrong a book.
I noticed something today that I have to share with you and the listeners. We're right now standing outside this place here.
We're standing outside this place here.
Can you smell? Good smell.
What do I smell?
Come closer.
I don't know. I smell something like, I don't know, rosemary and thyme.
No.
What is it?
It's burn like fire. You don't smell that?
Burn like fire?
This place burned over the
great.
weekend.
Let's not stand underneath it. It might collapse.
But it was no, it's not that burned. But
it's not that burned.
This was a landmark that we always talk about when we come downtown.
Which
Did
one?
I say it? Big Bite.
Big Bite. Big Bite burned?
Yeah.
Big Bite burned bad?
Yeah, Big Bite burned bad. And guess what I noticed when I was on my way to work this morning?
What?
I was looking at this building, which Big Bite is in, and it's made of brick primarily on the top. Guess what the name of the building is?
Big Bite burned bad?
Guess what the name of the building
Boulder
is?
Dash. What?
The Burn Building. That's exactly what the name is.
The Burn Building.
Burn Building.
That's pretty burnt. But the spooky thing about that, was it in the last episode? We were walking down, and I said, I know where we are now.
Yeah.
And you said, where? I said, we're by the Big Bite.
Oh my
And you said, well, what happens if something happened, like
oh my gosh,
whatever?
That's right.
And I said, well, I would remember it as being where Big Bite used to be.
Ooh,
Remember?
Yeah, now I remember. Wow.
And so your prophecy came true, you
Holy
witchy woman.
jumpins. What do you say about that? Did you hear that guy?
Yes.
He just said, what do you say about that?
I heard that, yes.
That was interesting.
I was going to answer him, but he walked away. He had his chance.
Spooky stuff happens right here on the Roar.
Yes, spooky stuff always happens right here on the Roar.
Sometimes just in this area too.
Many spooky things happen in this area. This is the area of many spooky things, I think.
Yes. Yeah, like the other night we were walking and it wasn't far from here, and then that guy, remember, fell down.
The guy fell down. Yes, Weeble. Weeble wobbled and he fell down. I recall that. Happy anniversary.
Happy anniversary.
Happy anniversary.
Happy anniversary.
Yes. So that is the situation. So what we're going to do, I do believe, is just kind of morph this to lean back on that word, but this is the other use of it. From here, we will kind of shove on into the other side of the ether, and just wanted to check in with you all and say hello on this auspicious occasion.
Yes.
Auspicious.
Yes, it was important.
Occasion is auspicious.
It is an auspicious occasion.
Good thing, you're not eating watermelon when you're saying that.
It's a good thing.
Uh-huh. It might be auspicious. So, I hear a friend of ours.
Who is that?
And a friend of the Roar, too. Mike Hanrahan. And that would be, he's singing live.
Yes.
This definitely not taxidermy. All right then, folks. So this would be it. We are now in the George Street zone. And we will say so long for the moment.
So long for the moment.
This is Mike Hanrahan, and you're listening to Republic of Avalon Radio.
Republic of Avalon Radio.
The best radio in the whole wide world. You're with the Roar.
Well, that brings to a close another episode of Republic of Avalon Radio, episode 53 to be precise. We hope you've enjoyed your time with us. We've certainly enjoyed spending this time with you, as we always do. And thank you for subscribing if you are in fact subscribed. If not, go over to our website, republicofavalonradio.com, and see how you can subscribe to The Roar for free. Also, big thanks to Eddie Grant and Ice Records for that bit of music from Roaring Lion. And from Lillian and myself, take care of each other, and we'll catch you next time right here on Republic of Avalon Radio.
Root Cellar production.